like button, that thumbs up button. This is the time we share with other friends and people as you come. Hello, I know you're coming on. I see you. Pushing that share button, sharing it with our friends and family all across the country, and New York, Florida, California, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Georgia. Notice what I'm doing, right? I'm calling all of those. I've got those elections going on in my head so much that I'm calling all the elections. Arizona, Nevada, I'm calling all the different states that people won. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for being with me today. This is my master key class. I'm a master key class. The whole philosophy behind the whole thing is if you have a master key, it means it goes in any lock on the door and opens up everything. John chapter 14, the verse 1, it goes on to talk about that in my Father's house are many mansions. In other words, in my Father's hotel, there are many rooms. That's actually what it means. In this building are many condos. Got it? Yeah, that's what it means. And he says, so when we come to God, it's like this. We don't go to God and say, oh, I'm in heaven. One of these days I'm going to heaven. And we finally, when we die, we go to heaven and we find a cloud and a harp. No, the goal is when we find or we become aware of this Christ in us. It changes everything. I mean, absolutely everything. And we began to do something. We began to build what we call a spiritual life. And our lives began to, you see, my life begins to change. What do you mean? Listen, let me put it to you this way. You start being able to get the right relationships. You start being able to make the right kind of money. You start being able to do the right kind of work, finding the right kind of purpose. Oh, yeah, but you're not understanding this. You must be talking about the life previous, pre-COVID. No, I'm talking about even in COVID. I'm talking about even in this coronavirus atmosphere. There are things that we can do that can unlock doors that you may not even be aware of. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you anything's easy, but I'm going to tell you there's some things that are quite possible. Take a moment. While you're there, not only hit that like button, but that share button, but also if you're in your comment, let me know that you're here. Hey, I'm here. A lot of people saying, hey, I made it. I was a little bit late, but I'm here in place right now. And you can also hit the, I also told you to hit the share and the comment button. But if you're following by YouTube, hit the follow button. I mean the subscribe button. That connects us on YouTube. If you like watching this better on YouTube, you can see it. It's going to let you know that we're going to be here. All right. Oh, yeah. Instagram. Forgot to tell you. That's one of our new ones. Our IGTV. We're coming on IGTV. We're so excited about IGTV. Instagram people would know that. The rest of you saying, what is he screaming about? Well, Ed Montgomery 1 is how you find us on Instagram. Hit it. Follow us there. And it'll notify you and let you know. We're opening up so many new different areas that I'm loving it. I'm finding out. I think even Twitter is opening up. If not, we'll be getting close to it. Look, one of the things that I have been, I've really been working on, and that is, how do I keep my spiritual life going when I'm looking around and I'm beginning to see there's some things that are not making sense biblically, spiritually. It's kind of like some things are counteracting in my life. At one point, Lord, I love you and I thank you that I feel abundant and you're blessing me. But then on the other end, you turn around and you see COVID. You find out that people that were in your life, you're getting emails and texts and everything saying those people have crossed over. 2020 is not going to be a good year for a whole lot of people. They're going to look back on it. But how in the world can you maintain your sanity? How can you keep your brains? How can you keep your emotions? How can you hold on to your life? Have your dreams. Time seems to be passing by so fast you thought you had your life on track. And all of a sudden, all this stuff hits. They're saying we're getting ready to enter into the worst time. You watch the news long enough, you're entering into the worst part of this whole COVID thing. The holidays, the winter, the cold. What's going to happen now spiritually is we have to begin to build the base, the foundation. That's what we were talking about on Sensational Sundays. That's where we get this from. But you've got to begin now to dig deeper into the foundation. We're going to have to, first of all, number one, admit that the foundation needs some work. I'll never forget one of our buildings that we had, one of our buildings that we were working with. Beautiful building. But it would rain and they would always have leaks, somewhere in the building. And after a while, those leaks almost became downpours. And we looked around one day and said, I'm going to find out where it comes from. And we would see it's come from that crack in the window. Okay, well, let's go get that caulked up. Rain again, it would come down again. We discovered over time that we'd get the roof fixed and all these different little things. And they were telling me about this. And I said, well, let's put some new windows in, put new windows in. Here's what we discovered. That the reason it rained inside was because it quite possibly had something to do with how the foundation worked. I said impossible. What in the world does that have to do with your walls and your roof? So we went online and we discovered. And I did a study on foundation. Even talked to a foundation expert. Come to find out that it is possible if the earth shifts up underneath a building and that building is not on a good foundation, then it's possible for the walls to be funny. People can come to your house if they see cracks up and down your walls and they can tell something's wrong with the foundation. All of that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's not that you don't fix it, take care of it, is that something is wrong with what the house is sitting on or what the building is sitting on. And see, this translates into our spiritual lives. Yes. It does. And we have to begin to decide some of the things that I believe. Is this solid rock or is this shifting sand? It's not necessarily that I believe wrong. Is that this belief that I used to feel solid on is no longer solid anymore. I'll give you an example. I remember many times, and I would teach this all the time and try to help people to talk about this. And they would say, well, I'm believing God that I'm going to make $1 million next year. And I said, okay. And they said, will you pray for me because I want to believe God that I'm going to make $1 million next year. And I said, now what do you want me to pray for? I want you to pray that I'm going to make $1 million next year, that you're going to agree with me that I'm going to make $1 million next year. And I said, well, how are you going to do it? Well, I don't know how. Well, what vehicle you're going to use? I don't know. What method you're going to use? I don't know. What plan do you have? I don't have a plan. I just want you to pray with me and agree with me, because if two come together and touching and agreeing, then it shall be done in the name. And I said, okay. I learned that about 2 decades ago, that I've got to be very careful how I walk in that area with people and how we deal with that. Because you just can't pray for something and wait for it to come out of the sky. Then you come back and blame me 6 months later and say, where's my $1,000,000? You preach that. Oh, they used to say, oh, you're the money preacher. You preach that. You're preaching about money. I said, no, I don't preach about money. I preach about spirituality. I said, money is a spiritual thing. I said, all of it's spiritual. Money is energy. Money is spiritual. Money is something you can't see. Now, currency is a different thing. Currency is a manifestation of the spirit, which is what you call money. That's currency. But money is spiritual. Money is what you trade. What you trade your life energy for a portion, for currency. That's what we call money. Yes, I teach it all the time. And it helps people to understand that if they can change the energy within them, if they can change, here we go, that spirituality, if they can increase their spirituality, if they can blow it up, if they can expand it, then they can expand their capacity for making the kind of life or the kind of living that they want. Understand something about money. Money, people don't just want money for the sake of money. I know you may want money. I want money for the sake of money. No, the reason you want money is so that you can do something with it that will give you a sense of security or a sense of power. If you already have a sense of power and a sense of security, then basically you already have money. You said, but I don't have a dime in my pocket. Well, you may not have a dime in your pocket, but you can still have security and you can still have that sense of power. And that sense of security and power can bring the coins into your pocket. That's possible. That's how we began. That's how we began to look at it. Jesus teaches about the expansion of our lives. Jesus teaches us that as we seek ye first, Matthew chapter 6, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven, then all of these things shall come. What things was he talking about? And it's what he said. Jesus said, take no thought. Do not worry or be anxious for what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep, what you're going to wear. There are some things you're not supposed to let push your worry button, your worry button. Don't let them push your worry button. You know, we got worry buttons, right? You know that. There's some things that you can, there's some things that, you know, you can get to me or they can get to you more than any. Some things don't bother you, but there's some things that just take you through. And you can push that button. Jesus said, don't let anybody push your buttons. So we discover that it's not just about praying for $1 million to drop out of the sky. But my prayer would be that God would, first of all, help you to increase your spirituality. Second, help you to enlighten your mind. Thirdly, begin to start giving you wisdom for the different avenues to where income or abundance can come through. That's where my prayer would begin. And that's where we would begin to see God beginning to answer those prayers, because these prayers now not just make sense, but they make faith. It gives us the ability to believe, to trust some of these areas. These are areas that we can work on. So now once we understand that, then we're going to have to begin to ask some tough questions. Now I began to abandon that old childish concept of just believing God for $1 million. If I work the principles, then the principles will work for me. I think I'm going to say that again. If I work the principles, then the principles will work for me. If I can do what it takes, forget the $1 million, I might wind up with $2 million. Forget the 2 million, I might wind up with 500,000. Forget 500,000, I might wind up with 75,000. You said, oh, wait a minute, preacher, you're going down. You're supposed to keep going up. It's based on what you have need of. Give us this day our daily bread. God can give you $1 million, baby, in installments. He can supply your need every day. And you wake up in the morning knowing that every day that you wake up, my need is met. Now, see, that's a totally different prayer than just give me $1 million. As a matter of fact, praying for just $1 million actually is a prayer of insecurity. You're scared you ain't going to have anything for tomorrow. So you're praying for security. Does that mean I'm not going to get my $1 million? No. What it means is that you begin to shift your life. You want to start living large. You want a large life. This is why we begin to understand certain teachings. And I've been teaching you about spiritually where we come from. And it's been teaching you about how some of the people been teaching folks, and keeping them mentally enslaved. Your life, your soul belongs to Jesus, but your body belongs to an owner. All throughout the 1800s, during slavery, that's what we had talked about. People were having faith in God just to hold on to life. But they were being made to feel spiritually, being preached to spiritually, that there was nothing to look forward to in this life, but everything they want to look forward to would be in the next life. So there was a theology of, I'm not getting nothing here. Everything that I'm going to get, I'm going to get in heaven. And that right there, I'm going to tell you, ticked me off. Because I got tired of watching people preach to people and telling them while they had something, they were telling people, you're going to get something by and by in the sky. In the sweet by and by. We shall meet on the beautiful shores one day. I don't want silver. I don't want gold. All I want is Jesus. And the funny part about it, in other words, if you had Jesus, you didn't need silver and gold. Silver and gold, you do need silver and gold. Jesus says, render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and unto God that which is God's. You got to have Jesus and silver and gold. Jesus said, look at the coin. Whose picture is on there? Give Caesar Caesar's what belongs to Caesar, and give God what belongs to God. You got to have both in your life. As you enlarge your spirituality, you begin to enlarge your capacity to understand how God works. And as long as somebody it's one thing to enslave your body, but it's another thing to enslave your mind. This is what I'm here for tonight. This is my bread and butter, baby. This is my teaching. This is what turns me on. This is what makes me get up in the morning when I'm able to tell people and use this medium to tell people that you might be enslaved in your body. You might be enslaved physically. You might feel like your physical body is cut off from things. You might be going through diabetes. You might be going through COVID. You might be going through sickness. But you've got to begin to at least start learning to free your mind, free your thinking. Begin to see that even in the midst of hurting things, I got some heavenly things. Oh, so you got to just wait till you get to heaven to get them? No, baby, you don't have to wait till you get to get heavenly things in heaven. You can have heavenly things right here while you are on this earth. Jesus says heavenly things. Didn't say in heaven. He talks about heavenly things. We are blessed in the heavenlies, which means if we're blessed in the heavenlies, we're blessed wherever the heavenlies are. I don't know where the heavenlies are, but we're blessed in them. So that means if we're blessed in the heavenlies, we're blessed right here. This is what Ephesians chapter 1 talks about. Read it. It's so many verses. You are blessed here. You are blessed there. You are blessed there. That word blessed is past tense. It's not a present tense. It's not a future tense thing. It is something that has already taken place. I am already blessed. If I'm already blessed, I've got to perceive from the fact that I'm already blessed. If I'm already blessed, then I already have the blessor in me, God in me. The blessor is within me. I am the blesser. The blesser is me. I am blessed. If I am blessed, then I wake up every morning. I perceive every morning as a person that is blessed. Now, if I am blessed, then wherever I am is blessed. Where the soles of my feet touch, I'm blessed. My home is blessed. Guess what? My country is blessed. Now, when you start talking about make America great again, then you're saying that America evidently is not great the way you want it to be. Who are you that are saying America is not great? If I'm in this country, wherever the soles of my feet touch, then I'm blessed. And it's blessed. Then you can't take my blessing from me. Now, I'm not being mean. I'm not being opinionated. This is just a biblical fact. It is what the scriptures say. So you can't just take the scripture and make it work for you today and then turn it around and it can't work for me tomorrow. You can't make your political rules work for you today, but then throw the rules out when it's time to work for somebody else tomorrow. You just can't wide-eyed, and my grandmama said, tell a story today. And then say tomorrow the story is the truth because it benefits you. What I'm finding out many times, we're finding out that when our beliefs start getting confronted with facts, the storm comes. The pressure comes. And it begins to shake our house. And ultimately, let me tell you something. You don't let that information in. If you don't allow your belief system to begin to see new information and to breathe new information, you're going to find out something. That information will be coming in. You start blocking it. And you're going to start withering. And you're going to start dying. Your faith is going to wither and die. Your spirituality is going to just start standing still. Oh, you'll get saved. But you're not going to have anything. You'll be just a dried up old prune out there talking about Jesus. Everybody else will go fine, but things are not going to happen for you. Look, I think my time is almost up. Yeah. Yeah, I think my time is almost up. Look, I'm gonna pray with you. We're gonna pray over this thing. We're gonna pray a kingdom down right now. Don't forget, some of us we've been in church, and I'm not picking on you, gonna beat you up or nothing. I'm not, but we've been away from the building since March. Yeah, since March. And I know you're there, and I see you online. I see you online, and I see, but you've got to make your online connection. Think about this. Make sure you stay a part of it with your giving and how you give and sharing online with what we do. As a matter of fact, with your text to give, you can use your text to give. Some say, I've been so nervous about using it. You use it with your bank online. You buy stuff online all the time. promise you, it's very safe and secure. You can use your phone and you can just type in the text, $10, $20, $5, $7. I'm just throwing numbers out. This is what you want to do. And you have to ask yourself, why am I doing this? It's not just to benefit others, but giving gives you some that warm feeling right on the inside, right down there in the middle, because you're helping others. Can you imagine how many people have been helped just being online today? And of course, all the things we do through the week, and people who are fed, and people, all those different things. But just this coming out right here, right now, look at what's going on. And we've got beautiful people. If you haven't given anything, and it's been a while, make you feel your church, because your giving connects you with it. You can go to myalc.org. That's myalc.org. If you're watching on the website, some of you are already on it, watching through YouTube. And then you see that donate button on the side. Forget what I'm saying right now and click it. Just go ahead and click it. And click that donate button. Probably by the time I get through talking, you'll be back from the site just like that. Or write a check. Some of you want to write a check. Just write a check like you used to. If you got some envelopes at home, fine. You can call the number. You can call the phone number from the church. Yes, it works 24/7. Them send you an envelope. They'll send you an envelope if you want to do it differently. And you can put in that envelope. You can mail it, or you can just write it out right now. Just send it. Like you sent that ballot in the mail. Ooh, look at what you did. You can send it to Abundant Life Center, ALC, P.O. Box 772-300, Houston, Texas 77215. It's Abundant Life Center, or ALC, P.O. Box 772-300, Houston, Texas 77215. And we'll get it. It'll be recorded. You'll actually be able to go online and actually see, even that way, you can go online and see your record and see that your gift came nice and safe. Look, I don't want you sitting out here as prey to everybody's little spiritual whim, where they're telling you, oh, God bless God, he told me to tell you this, and this particular candidate's going to win, and that particular send me this amount of money. Don't fall prey to that kind of stuff. That's what the problem we've gotten ourselves into now. They're mixing that spirituality with politics. Well, you all did that during the civil rights movement. Yeah, we didn't mix spirituality with politics. We mixed spirituality with being free, and still having to mix it with being free. When somebody's oppressing, you got to get free. When there's racism in the system, you got to get free. Well, I'm telling you something. We're about to go to a whole nother level of freedom. Everybody, all people, all races, all colors. Now, here's what we do here. I want you to take a deep breath. This is what I do on Wednesday nights. Take a deep breath. Release it, let it go slowly. Put your hands on your knees, on your lap. You can either do it in a position like that, or you can just put it in a position like that. And close your eyes if you want to, or you can open them and focus on something. Find a point on the wall or something and focus on it. Start breathing in. Count to 4. Breathe it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come on, do that about 5 times. There you go. And now breathe in a little bit slower. Hold it. And now release it. Focus on your breath. When you get up in the morning, focus on your breathing. That little exercise right there will help you to make a change in your respiration. Every time you breathe in, you're breathing in healing. Every time you breathe out, you're expelling those things that should not be there. And now, We're praying for people during this time that they will take their health seriously. Yeah, I know there are a lot of people, a lot of church people, who are not wearing masks, not social distancing. They're coming up on Thanksgiving. They don't want none of that to be a part of anything. I don't care what anybody says. Well, listen, let me say this to you. You might have to sow your Thanksgiving to this year so that you can reap the greatest Thanksgiving of your life next year. You might have to sow Christmas. You might not be able to gratify yourself this holiday. I know. But sometimes we have to make sacrifices, you know? Sometimes we have to do some things we don't want to do. I don't know why these people some won't wear the mask. Let me tell you what they're telling people now. The mask, they used to say, well, the mask helps others. You wear the mask to protect others. But what they're finding out is that so many Americans are selfish. So they're now calculating how much, when you wear the mask, how much does it protect you? Because people mostly are concerned about themselves. I know. But however you can understand the words, you got to understand the word. The mask protects you. Not only protects others, but most of all, it protects you. Do it just to humor your own self. Watch yourself on Thanksgiving. It might be just you and a few at the house that you know. Everybody, child, come on to my house. I ain't thinking about no COVID. Well, you think about COVID. Forget what they think about. They'll have everybody over there. They ain't gonna care. Well, we wash our hands. And you get over there and find out they ain't washing nothing. You got them old dirty fingers picking all over. If you don't know where people's fingers be. So you gotta watch it. Take care and protect yourself. This holiday, be grateful. Listen, I got to go. My time is up. I'm gone. Bye. Love you.